Feel free to throw stuff out if you think it's going to enhance what the person is saying. The chances are it's probably not going to. We've got loads of people coming up here tonight to doing stuff. People that are doing stuff all over the place, Edinburgh Festival, all over the UK. We've got people who just play a few shows in London and bits and pieces, and we've got some people that are coming up here to do this brand new for the first time and expose themselves like the perverts they are. So if, again, you want to shout at them, it might be a little bit harsh, a little bit horrible. But it's your life. It's. I'm not judging you. You shout. Don't shout. So thanks very much for coming here tonight. Jagaloon, we've got 5 acts, and we're going to start with the first act right now, and he's going to come up here. And his name, please put your hands together from the front to the back. Start here, start clapping as my hand goes round. Can I have some room for some cheers? Come on, guys. We're not in for the feeble shit. Let's do this thing. Come on. Please welcome to the stage, Andi Chamberlain.
Hey, how you doing? So this is there's the enhancement. That's the set. I could just end it right now. I could just walk off and that's it done. So I'm Andi Chamberlain. Some of you may recognise me from such educational films as Good Cook, Bad Cook the movie. Fantastic. I did that for the whole country. Basically, I was an entertaining, educational tool for the children of the world. Trying to shape and mind them to learn how to cook properly. Something which came back and haunted me 16 years to the day after I fucking posted it. Otherwise, you may know me from this place, Acoustheque. I'm the guy which stands at the front and is unfunny for the rest of the evening. Several musicians come up here and do their thing. I stand here and Benny just kind of be unfunny next to them and detract from their talent by being the talentless moron that stands there sweating, looking at you all in this kind of blind panic like a deer in the headlights, wondering what the fuck is going on. And then you all put money in the tip jar and I go home with that money, so technically I win. So it could be a lot worse. For those of you who don't know me, I come from a little town just down the road called Evesham. It's about 40 miles that way, but that's just where I'm from. My heritage is somewhat mixed, really. You see, my mum, God bless her, God bless Mary, my mum, she's Scottish, lovely Scottish bird, mental, completely and utterly crazy, doesn't know what the fucking day is, has no idea who I am 99% of the time. Walk through the door, hello, darling. You come to read the meter? Yes, Mum, come to read the meter. She has no clue who I am generally all the time. Scottish and has slightly bit of a drinking problem. By that I mean she drinks all the time. Alcohol, whiskey, beer, meths. Anything she could, like turpentine's her favourite chipple at the moment in time. She ran out of whiskey quite fast, so she just basically raided the cupboards and found some white spirits and just put it into a bucket, or as she calls it, the shot glass. And was just, pouring it down her face and then sort of like just mauling the cat and shaping it into a nice hat for the winter. Putting on the dog as like slippers so she could go to the local pub and buy more terps. We told her that it was actually at Homebase, and then Homebase actually went out of business in Stratford because of my mother, because there is no terps in the building, nor sheds, because that she calls sheds twiglets. Scottish thing, it's a really weird thing. She's an alcoholic, but don't worry, it's a funny thing. Her maiden name, Beveridge. You can't make this shit up. My mum, a Scottish woman, alcoholic, maiden name Beveridge. Now it took me about 15 to 16 years to realise that was just Scottish irony. Because there isn't actually a thing called a Scottish alcoholic, it's just being Scottish. If any of you watched the news recently, the whole Scottish independence thing, that was just an ease-up, which went way out of control. Alex Salmon was to say, freedom! And everyone just went, aye! And then they just went with it. Alex Salmon had no fucking clue. He doesn't even know he was elected into power. Just this bold Scottish dude was going, bah, freedom! And they were like, yes! And he was like, if I keep shouting freedom, they'll keep giving me an MP's wage. And then we could just stick it to the fucking English! And then they did. And they didn't. And then it all went wrong. And then the Scottish ruined it. Gordon Brown, love him. So yeah, come from a Scottish heritage. I always said I was half Scottish. But apparently I'm not half Scottish because my dad, English, my mum's Scottish, therefore I thought somewhere in the middle, half English, half Scottish. And then my dad pointed out that you're only a quarter English and a quarter Scottish because you've got to take into the heritage of your grandparents. So, like, that terrified me for the rest of my life. Pretty much ruined sex. Didn't lose my virginity till I was 22 because of that little tidbit of information. My mum, my dad, English, Scottish. Half English, half Scottish. No. Quarter. Because my grandparents get involved. How the fuck does that work? I can understand threesomes. I can understand general foursomes. But foursomes involving my mum, my dad, and my grandparents, that's not even a foursome. That's 12 people. That's just mental. How can you even, how can you just comprehend your grandparents having sex with your parents? And then my dad sat me down and just went, it's not how it works, Andy. That's not, no. Your grandparents didn't get involved when me and your mum were just, doing the thing which made you. Your grandparents are just involved because of the heritage. It's too late, Dad. You've ruined sex for me, quite frankly. I can just sit down for the rest of my life now and just wonder about how sex is for other people. And then when I'm 22 years old, I'll just bang some random bird in the back of a band van. Well, actually, technically, I lost my virginity twice. I can completely justify this because the woman was involved both times. The first time was in a hotel in Redditch, so technically, already, I'm ahead of the game. I can write this one off. It's like a tax deductible. It's completely fine. Like Redditch, not even worth your time. In a hotel, in a toilet, under cover of darkness. And while we were just getting down to the business of having sex, 14 people walked through the door and were like, hey, we're about to do some coke, as I'm basically entering the woman. Can we not count this one? I'm not going to. Cool. Off, zip, back into my hotel room and quake for an hour and a half, in the corner, gibbering to myself about how Redditch has ruined my life. Much like my parents and my grandparents have ruined my life. Sex will never be the same again. Later on that night, she had sex with 3 other men, so I think I got off lucky. The second time is the one I actually count as having sex, where I had sex with a girl and she had sex with me, and then it ended, and then she didn't talk to me for 3 weeks, and that's how it's been ever since, really. Kind of one terrifying, awful interaction with a woman after another. I'm just remembering all 3 of them right now. 3.5. 4. No, that was it. So, sex, late bloomer. Didn't do that for a very long time. And I was kind of a late bloomer in a lot of things, really. Don't know what I wanted to do until I was about 21. Kind of like looking around at my friends and like, oh, look at my friends, they're in bands. I wish I was in a band. I wish I could do band things. I want to be in a band. Can't play guitar, can't play piano, can't play drums, can't play bass, can barely sing, but fuck me, I can talk. So give me a mic and I'll stand in front of people and I'll be the singer. Yeah! No. No, when you're the guy in front of a whole talented bunch of other people, no one wants to sleep with you. I'll tell you that now, the singer does not get any of the ladies. The drummer, however, gets all of the ladies. Gets all of them, and the men, and several of the STDs. So drummers, stay away from them. So drums, sex, yeah, look, I think band, I was like, I could do a band. So I joined 5 bands, never been the most talented one in all the bands. And then I was kind of like, I can't really do the music thing, so, I know, I'm going to be a writer. So I'm in Evesham, sitting there going, I'm going to be a writer. And I looked around Evesham, there's like 13, 14 writers, famous people, all books out. So I know, I'm going to move to a different town, I'm going to strike my own name in the stone of destiny. So I moved to Stratford because I thought, well, it's an empty town, not a lot of people here, not many famous writers, carve an own niche, make my own thing. And then someone pointed out the flaw in that plan. Apparently the statue, or 12, and the theatre, and the thing. So that was ruined. So I thought I'd be a comedian. And yeah, it's pretty easy. All you do is stand here, and prompt, Mads, No, not you. No, not you. Yeah, well, no, that's one, not you. Oh, God. Harry.
Take it off, usually.
I can't do that either. Okay, yeah. Well, so basically I'm still looking for a kind of an occupation to move on to after this evening when you all basically heckle me from Facebook telling me never to pick up the mic again and stop ruining everybody's lives. And it's a hard job, it's a hard job. I usually stand here and just talk rubbish at people about stuff that I like and they don't. And it usually works out quite well in that respect. But tonight it seems to have worked awfully, and I've actually shit myself on 3 occasions while I've been on stage. It's not a good look, I've found. In the 30 seconds since it happened, I've realised that putting yourself on stage as a comedian, probably niche, may get you some gigs, probably not going to get your ass back to the gig, you know, on 90% of the occasion. 4 times I've just shit myself on stage, so I think it's probably best I just make leave and apologise for my horrible, horrible demeanour and the smell that I've now left for my fellow comedians for this evening. And just leave you with one little story. I used to work in a prison. And I kind of didn't realise for a very long time what I actually did in the prison. I worked in there for about 18 months. I was 16 years old, just turned 17. And then just from 17, I was just about to turn 18 before I went to college. And I was in this prison, and I was working there, and I was doing admin shit. And then they said, you've got a promotion, and we're going to move you into the main prison, and you're going to become a reception officer. And I said, well, this is great, because like, I'm 16 years old, I just got my first promotion, I'm getting a massive amount of money, I can just blow this shit on like booze and women and booze and women. And then I realised I'm in Evesham. And I met this girl, and we were walking down the road at this boat festival. And I had all this money in my pocket from my job in the prison. And I thought, this is going to be great. It's going to be the first night I'm going to do this. I'm going to fucking just pull tonight. I'm going to pull. And me and this girl, we were getting onto it. We were getting really far into it, like snogged a few times. Her hand was down my trousers. She was touching areas that had never been touched by a woman before. It was beautiful. Absolutely brilliant. I loved it. And then I got to do it back to her. And it was wonderful. I mean, it was kind of scary and it was more, you know, weird and like, you know, awful and like terrifying in all kinds of different ways. But at the same time, it felt good in a kind of horrible way. And I just didn't like it in any way, shape or form. But I kind of went with it because it's all right, because I'm supposed to do this. And then one of my cousins came up and went, hey, how you doing? What are you doing with her? And I'm like, well, I'm getting it down. I think I'm going to pull tonight. I think I'm going to have sex. It's going to be brilliant. And they said, no, you're not. And I went, why? And they went, she's your cousin. Really? Yeah. And you know that girl you kissed last night? Yeah. She's your cousin too. Really? Yeah. You're related to roughly 79% of Evesham. So for the next 6.5 years, when I walk around Evesham, I had to carry a family guide in my pocket going back 9 generations of genealogy. Just so when I went to a girl, hey, how you doing? Cool. Want to come back to my house? Wait a minute. What's your name? Fuck you! I've been Andi Chamberlain. Thank you very much for this evening.
Wow, first time out. Give it up for Andi Chamberlain! Amazing, amazing. Well done to Andi.